Hi everyone, hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm Kunjal Kapadia and I'm a part of the data COA team at Publicis Sapient. I believe in the power of data and its ability to help businesses take more optimized decisions. Today, I'll be talking about digital marketing attribution, which is a technique by which marketers can use data to serve the right message to the right customer at the right place and right time. To start with, we'll go over the impact of the pandemic and the impact it has had on digital adoption. And then we will get into the details of how, what, and why of digital marketing attribution. The pandemic has changed our lives in more ways than one. Digital adoption has become the need of the hour and impacted all areas of our life. The way we work, the way we shop, the way we communicate, and the way we entertain ourselves. All of these actions as consumers have driven a historic and dramatic shift in consumer behavior. This is our new normal, and these shifts are here to stay. Many of the trends are nothing but accelerations of past behaviors. If we think about it, we have covered a decade worth of change in mere days when it comes to the adoption of digital channels and digital mediums. For example, for online deliveries, we have the number of deliveries that would have happened in 10 years have happened in mere 8 weeks. For remote working, we've had 20 times more participants joining on video conferencing in a span of mere 3 weeks. Even in the world of entertainment, it took Disney Plus just 5 months what it took Netflix 7 years to achieve. So we can all agree that the change of the scale has been tremendous. This has also led to a disruption in the form of media that is being served to us. Brands which were largely able to adapt to these immediate shifts in consumer behavior have definitely had an advantage. The changes in user activity have seen a corresponding rise in the spend and advertising budget as well. In 2021, US was the biggest digital advertising market with a spend of $190 billion. Now, as budgets increase, it becomes more important to measure the effectiveness of the budget and decide where to invest the next dollar. Marketers can do this by boosting their digital marketing maturity and achieve impressive results. Research by BCG and Google has shown that companies with successful data-driven marketing strategies can save up to 30% in costs while generating 20% more revenue. So, how can we all get there? To get started on the road to digital data-driven attribution, the first step is to determine the current stage of your organization in the digital maturity framework. The research has come up with 4 distinctive stages where an organization can be in the road to digital maturity. The first of them being nascent, which is an initial stage where marketing campaigns are largely dependent on external data and direct buys, and they have very limited links to sales or conversions. The second stage is the emerging stage, where organizations use some bit of own data in automated buying, along with optimizations in some of the channels here and there, accompanied by some testing. When we go to the next stage, that is the connected stage, businesses can rely on data that is integrated and activated across different channels with a demonstrated link to ROI or return on investment or sales proxies. And the last stage, which is the multi-moment stage and defines the highest level of maturity, is the dynamic execution of campaigns across multiple channels and which are optimized towards individual customer businesses, outcomes, and transactions. It is everybody's goal to reach the multi-moment stage, but currently only 2% of the brands are able to reach there. Majority of the businesses fall under the emerging or the connected stage. So, what are the factors that contribute to digital maturity and how can everybody get there? It is the factors that contribute to maturity are twofold. One are the organizational enablers and next are the technical enablers. Coming to organizational enablers, ev- every organization needs strategic partnerships, partnership with agencies, ad tech and automation platforms, while also maintaining control over their first party data. Next, we need specialist skills, data scientists, measurement specialists, which can be hired and trained and grown within the organization so that they can lead to connected marketing and also connect with different aspects of marketing, such as branding, and collaborate with different teams and come up with better models. Last but not the least is an agile structure and a test and learn approach, which can allow teams to iterate quickly and learn from the previous experience. When it comes to we, technical enablers will help the organization to collect data and manage the data in a more responsible way. Also, assemble and integrate data from different tools and platforms such as CRM, web analytics, ad tech platforms, and whatnot. Also, connect all the initiatives which are being driven with business outcomes and results. Identify different touch points, identify the KPIs of these touch points, and link digital engagement with business outcomes. Last but not the least is actionable measurement. Attribution is one of the techniques of actionable measurement. It helps companies to realize their objectives more efficiently. It helps marketers to know which channel serves as the right touch point for which consumers at the right time. Various studies have shown that applying attribution models can help increase the return on investment by a potential of 20 to 40%. So, what exactly is attribution? Let's define that. Attribution is the act of assigning a conversion value to each of the various contact moments that have contributed to a conversion. Let's unpack some of the key terms in this definition. When we say conversion, we mean the goal or the desired outcome of a campaign. Let's take an example of an e commerce platform. The ultimate conversion would be a customer placing an order. That would be our conversion. Conversion value is the value attributed to, to the goal or the conversion. In this case, it would be the cart value of the order which is being placed. Next is touch points. Touch points are nothing but the contact moments that a customer comes across during the buying process. So, for example, in our e commerce example, it could be a banner on a site that prompted the consumer to come and land on the site and look at a product. It could also be a video ad that the customer saw while seeing an ad on YouTube. It could even be just a scan of a QR code while walking through the grocery store. All of these are different touch points that the consumer has come across during his buying journey. And lastly, we have contributions. All of these different moments of contact that the customer has had contribute to the decision of the conversion. And different touch points can have different values that led the customer to make the final conversion. As a result, attribution offers a way of judging the added value of marketing channels. It is a way in which the marketers can be less wrong about their assumptions and try to go towards adopting a more data driven approach. And more often than not, attribution is based on a model which is always merely an approach to reality. So, most organizations are familiar with attribution, but not all of them are able to adopt it in a way that they can achieve the highest level of digital maturity. Let us go through the different models of attribution. First, we will go through certain rule-based models, which are first touch, last touch, linear, multi-touch, and so on. Looking at the first touch model, it assigns 100% credit to the first touch point. So in our case, if in the e-commerce example, if the customer had looked at a banner on a different website, say on a news website, 100% credit would be attributed to that touch point. It tries to maximize the top of the funnel credit, and it is focused more on demand generation. However, it has limited ability of optimization and limited ability to determine exactly what drove the final conversion. The next is a U-shaped multi-touch model, which assigns 40% credit to the first touch as well as the last touch and distributes the remaining 20% evenly across all the other touch points. So it gives equal emphasis to the first and last touch and giving the remaining credit to other touch points within the entire journey. In a way, some of the cons can be that it can undervalue one of the middle touch points, especially for products which have a long purchase cycle. Next is the linear multi-touch, where every touch point is assigned equal credit for the conversion, which means we think that each and every touch point has equal weightage in the buyer's journey. Here again, there is a risk of undervaluing certain touch points and overvaluing some other touch points. Next is the W-shaped model, which assigns 30% credit to three key touch points, which is the first touch, the last touch, and in between the lead conversion touch point. And the rest 10% is distributed equally among the other channels. So this model again gives credit to major milestones of the consumer buyer journey. However, there is again a risk that some of the middle touch points might be assigned a lower value than they might be given credit for. Next is the time decay multi-touch model, where a bulk of the credit is assigned to the last touch point and diminishing value is assigned to earlier touch points. So this model does give more credit to the later touch points which are closer to the conversion rather than the earlier ones, which might be more along the exploratory journey of the customer. Next one is the last touch, where again all the credit of the conversion is attributed to the last touch point in the customer journey. As a result, there tends to be an ignorance of the influences that on the road to conversion that the buyer has taken. It also favors customer recycling, as in customers coming again and again and repeated customers. Last one in the rule-based models are the custom multi-touch points. In this, credit can be given as per the value driven by a specific touch point. It requires a more customized approach and requires a buy-in from different teams within the organization, and it can be customized to suit the requirement of the organization or a particular problem that we're trying to solve. However, customization can take a longer time to implement and come to a consensus. Other than the rule-based models, there are also algorithmic models which are based on statistical techniques, which might be used as the next level of attribution. Next, we will look at some of the challenges that marketers go through in implementing attribution models. In a perfect world, analysis and impact would go together, since we have a lot of data being collected from several different platforms. It is easy to get lost into the world of data and try and gather more and more insights before taking any action. However, we must start with small actions which lead us to get more insights and get into the process of trial and error and refine our approach towards attribution. So that can be started by using the tools which are available at hand. All of the web analytics tools and also marketing platforms such as Google Ads already have some or the other attribution reports which can be utilized to drive small actions which can lead to big impacts. The idea here is to be driven by analysis, but not boil the ocean in order to get to action. Use the solutions which are at hand, formulate a business problem, and focus on the impact and insights. This process can be reiterated across different channels, and you can gain insights and optimizations very quickly. Another challenge that we face is that of model selection. As we had seen in the previous slide, there are multiple models to choose from. And again, it can be very confusing as to which one is the best model suited for your organization. A good place to start is to compare and apply different models. This will help you analyze the shift in value across different channels. The results of the comparison will also indicate which channels contribute to which touchpoint of the customer journey. This is valuable information which can be used to optimize the spend and the budget and also carry out different experiments to validate these insights. Again, we need to be conscious of the weaknesses of a particular model, also know where the data is missing, because as expected, even though we try to minimize errors in data collection, there is a possibility that some platforms might have data for impressions but not for clicks, and some others might have data for clicks but not for impressions. In such cases, there is a chance that one partner or one platform can be underestimated while the other can drive completely different results. So it is always a good idea to be conscious of the weaknesses within the models and the way it has been used to gather insights and deploy optimizations. The next challenge that we all face is that of tool selections. In a world of plenty, we are bombarded with different tools which have their own capabilities over the others. In a perfect world scenario, we would have data-driven attribution along with cross-device enabled data and insights into all data sources, including offline channels. However, we are always faced with real-world challenges in terms of privacy laws or walled gardens and the impact of data quality. Again, it is the best approach to start with what you have. Start with the analytics tools, the attribution within platforms like Google Ads or web analytics tools like Google Analytics. However, one thing to keep in mind is to ensure the quality of the data which underlies all of these efforts. It it is good to check whether there are any errors in data collection, whether there needs to be any improvement in the data collection and cleaning process, which would also impact the accuracy of the underlying data and that of the model. One thing that people tend to overlook is also bringing in the cost data from different channels along with the website data. Once all of this data is ready, you need to start asking questions about what insights can be gathered from this data, or what questions can be answered using all of this data. What actions can be taken? How far back does this data go? How many touch points do we need? And how will it help in optimizing campaigns? No wonder you will not find answers to all of these questions, but you will definitely find some of the answers. And the most important thing is you will come up with certain limitations. These limitations will help you define your these limitations will help you define what you need from your attribution tool, and it will help you in doing a cost benefit analysis while comparing different tools which are available in the market. One of the important challenges that we also come across while dealing with attribution is that of branding. Branding Attributing an ROI to branding campaigns is very difficult. There is just no point in fixating on the data when all of the data is not complete yet. With each and every attribution model, we have an opportunity to either select impressions or clicks as touch points. It is possible that attribution models taking impressions as a sign of success produce results which are too positive. And for this reason, branding KPIs are often measured by means of questionnaires and brand studies, the results of which are not considered in the attribution model. For example, a video campaign may have just generated a revenue of $1,200. However, it might have created significant lift in the brand attitude for the target audience, which will ultimately have an impact on future campaigns and future conversions. However, it will not be taken into consideration while looking at the present set of data. Integrating the worlds of branding and performance marketing in one data set is not yet possible. So, it is always essential to deal and have a nuanced approach when it comes to branding. Using branding study outcomes and experience from previous campaigns to put attribution into perspective. Last and but not the least of the challenges is the offline channel consideration. As we know, the customer journey can have several touch points in the online and offline world. So, how do we merge all these touch points together? Measuring offline channels as a part of the customer journey becomes really important. And this can be solved in some innovative ways by using really smart techniques. For example, there can be vanity URLs which can be communicated via some specific channels. For example, a vanity URL can be a part of an email which is sent to a specific target audience. This can take into consideration that the particular email blast campaign that the customer is coming from. We can, while running the attribution model, we can also load the TV ad broadcast timetable and consider it as a part of the attribution model. This would be a way to integrate the data or any spike which can be seen from a TV advertisement into the online channels. Telemarketing conversations can also be integrated onto the same platform, which can be considered as a separate touch point from visiting the website or the said platform. Tools which can allow dynamic phone numbers on the site can be used so that telecallers can identify the channel that these customers are coming from and accordingly attribute any conversions to that particular channel. Last but not the least is the use of QR codes that we saw during the Super Bowl ad. QR codes can be used to share product information or just drive new users to explore the product or the website. These are some of the ways in which offline channels can be considered and made a part of the attribution cycle. And with this, I conclude the challenges in the digital marketing attribution. I hope you were able to get a good idea about digital marketing attribution and you will start on your journey